Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bit of a different video today. For this specific video, which is going to be pretty short, but whatever, this will be 5 things that currently annoy me in Satisfactory. Alright. Number 1. Let me see if I can actually... Right here. Putting a belt down on a splitter, and you're trying to do that, and it... What? I want to know who's using it like that. Why is it that even an option? Maybe that's just me, but that kind of really annoys me. Alright, well, we got number 2. Aha, we're gonna have to scoot away. Now, I noticed this mainly with fluid, but I have seen it happen in non-fluid machines. And it's machine stuttering while it has what it needs. I've seen it in... well, in the last... Let me actually clear my throat for a second here. Okay. Like in the last episode, with the plastic that was towards the end of the line that kept... Like, even those do it occasionally, where they have well beyond what they quote-unquote require to start the process. They just don't start. Yes, it's taking a minute to get there. I know, I'm sorry. All right. Now this isn't currently an issue because I've turned off. I kind of redid how this whole thing is in flux at the moment because these... Okay, we're just gonna get to them. Okay, these... Well, I think actually it was... Yeah, it was these, because of how this is set up, these two get, like... Well, technically that one gets the first resources, second, third, fourth. The third and fourth in the line here. And I don't really think it had to do with belt speed, because that is a Mark 6 belt. It's just kind of how it happens. But it would... It wanted... It's like right here. 2 package water per cycle. I had it to where it had like 16 and it still wasn't starting. This was not full. These are going as soon as they go, they are gone. This was not full because these two were supplying something else at the time, but that kind of stuttering drives me absolutely insane. Alright. You have an example. All right. Ooh, fix that. What is number 3? Fluids. Yep. You may notice that there were other reactors here. They have been moved. Because this cannot... I would have to have more because I was dumb. We'll just leave it at that. It was a math mistake. But let's take a look at where those are now. There they are. And these are using water that is way up here at the waterfall. I mean, you know what the waterfall looks like. But yeah, these are gonna get their water. And yes, that's crisscrossed. I know. If anything, this one should be supplying these two, and that one should be supplying those two. Anyway, it works. But fluids in general are just the bane of most players' existences. Even you could watch every tutorial video on fluids that it has ever and will ever be made. There is still going to be a time where some weird issue crops up and it's going to make you mad. I guarantee it. I've seen some videos where they say, oh, if you put those in, like, while the pipe is already made, it's not getting the full amount. Which he proved. But at the same time, why is it like that? That needs to be addressed, which hopefully 1.2 does, but as of recording, there's still nothing concrete on exactly what we're getting aside from a tanker truck. That's the only thing they've actually confirmed, and it's not mixing fluids in the tanker truck, even though it has 2 fluid lines that can go into the train station now. It's not mixing those. Now, I don't know if that means that... I think he said it can't hold 2 different liquids, like the actual tanker truck can't hold 2 different liquids at the same time. It's all or nothing. But then, assuming that, you're going to have a way to select which liquid you want going in there. But yes, pipes. I mean, unless you're using a waterfall, or the waterfall method, where your water's higher than everything else that you're doing, you don't have to worry about pumps, which I have had my fair share of anxiety with Mark 1 and Mark 2 pumps. Because sometimes it's like, why is this? Why is machine A not getting its water when it has the appropriate amount of pumps that is filling the appropriate amount that it is requiring? Or it goes back to the stuttering thing. Alright, next one up. Number 4. Pop in. This is more of a, I get that it's an issue. I've mentioned it before. I realize they can't. I mean, I'm pretty sure this uses Unreal 5, so it's not their engine. They can't, like, I don't expect them to go, like, down to the absolute baseline of the code and rewrite it to make it not pop in. which I don't even think you can really do unless you're gonna go ahead and just make your own engine. But then it's a whole thing where the graphics cards need to be, and the drivers need to be available to the devs so they can optimize it. They have to optimize it for every possible permutation of hardware, which is a lot easier on consoles because they tend to like have the same baseline CPU, GPU, RAM. RAM. That's going wild right now, isn't it? It's like there's not going to be any difference between like an Xbox Series X and another Xbox Series X, aside from like one of the oldest versions might be less, like the motherboard layout might be less optimized than one of the newer ones. But the biggest culprit of pop-in that I have seen in Satisfactory is in the blue crater. I'm not gonna fly over there; it's take too long. The last one for today is something I see on so many YouTubers' videos. I'm looking at you, Total Eclipse, and sometimes Kibitz, is that the clipping that right there, that is the reason I detest any clipping ever. I don't care if you can't see it 24/7. If I get close enough and I see something, some sort of wall or foundation seizuring out, I'm gonna get aggravated because it is annoying as hell to me. Maybe I'm alone in that, I don't know. But that's gonna lead into the next video, 5 things I wish were in Satisfactory. But that will be obviously in the next video, but probably within a day. Probably the Monday, which would be the 8th. Today's the 5th. That week. It'll be sometime in that week. But I'm gonna leave you there, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTuber stuff. I mean, we're getting views. Just for the love of Ada, subscribe. That's what I really would like to see. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.